What determines if you're a dependent or independent on the FAFSA? Hey everyone, I'm Tina Steele, the FAFSA Guru. Be sure to give me a follow for all things financial aid. When you're dependent, that means that you have to fill out the FAFSA using parent information, versus being independent means that you can fill out the FAFSA with just your information. So there's a series of questions that the FAFSA asks to determine whether or not you're a dependent student. Typically, if you're under 24 years old, you would be considered dependent unless one of the following things applies to you. If you can answer yes to one of these questions, then you could be considered independent on the FAFSA and not need your parent information. The first question is, were you born before January 1st, 2002? Second question is, as of today, are you married? The third question is, for the 25-26 year, will you be a graduate student? So basically that means, will you have already completed a bachelor's degree? Are you currently serving on active duty in the U.S. Armed Forces for purposes other than training? The next question is, are you a veteran? The next question, do you have children or other people living with you besides your spouse that you provide more than half support for? And then there's a series of questions that ask, any time since you turned age 13, were you in foster care, a ward of the court, or were you an orphan? Are you a legally emancipated minor as determined by a court in your legal state of residence? Are you or were you in legal guardianship by somebody other than your parent or step-parent as determined by a court of law in the state you live in? And then the last question it asks on the current 25-26 FAFSA is, at any time after July 1st, 2024, were you homeless or self-supporting and at risk of being homeless? If you answer yes to this last question, you will need some documentation to back it up. But basically, if you can answer yes to any one of those questions that I just went over with you, then you're considered independent for FAFSA purposes and you do not need to fill it out with your parent information. I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks so much for watching.